What's happening, everybody? Ho, ho, ho. It is Princess Claus. I can't see my hat too well. There we go. There we go. What's happening? It is time for the first webinar for the Secret Beach. So let's get us in the mood and play a little Christmas tune, shall we? Oh, little Arthur Lyman Christmas tune. So what's happening? I'm glad you all could join me on the first webinar. And we're going to learn about Christmas music. Whoops. There we go. So is everybody ready for Christmas? Have you got your shopping done? Are all your items listed? Are you ready to learn about Christmas CDs? Well, let's talk Christmas CDs, shall we? While we listen a little bit, I'll have a little cocktail from my Christmas tiki mug. The sunshine by day and the stars at night. To say Merry Christmas. Alrighty. All right, sadly, I got to turn the music off because now it's time to do the presentation. So here's how it's going to work tonight. And thank you all for joining me. I know you're going to have a lot of questions. I totally expect it, and we'll go through all of them. But because, and I might switch how we're going to do the videos in the future, but for tonight, because I know how to use it so well, we're doing this Google Hangout or YouTube Hangout. So save your questions till the end. So get a pad of paper and a pen out, write them down as we go, and save them to the end because I won't be able to keep track of them. I did not pre-record this. It's going to be me doing the presentation straight through. And so write them down, and then we'll get to them at the end for sure. So I'll let a few more people get in. We got a good turnout so far, 70 people out of 300. That's pretty good so far. So I'll give everybody a couple more minutes. So how's everybody doing tonight? Oh, you like my hat? Thank you. I thrifted this. I never washed it. Now, hey, I'm wearing it. Yeah. And my wife, who was sitting right over here, is like, yay. Yeah. So I thought I'd wear one of my good Hawaiian Christmas shirts because I'm going to Hawaii. Yay. So before we get it rolling and let a few more people get in there, I am leaving for Hawaii next week, and I will be hopefully, if there's good reception, I'll be broadcasting live from the actual Secret Beach. The picture at the top of the group, that is the actual Secret Beach in Maui. If the reception isn't good, we'll definitely take some video, and then I'll upload it when I get back to the resort. But the Secret Beach is kind of sandwiched in between some houses, so I'm hoping there's reception because I think it'd be kind of cool to broadcast live into the Secret Beach from the Secret Beach, and then the circle will be complete. Yes, at the butt crack of dawn, the Pink Panther is taking me to the airport. So thank you, Vicky. Yeah, I have a present for you. Don't let me forget to give it to you as a little thank you. All right, I'm going to take this off only because it's hot. All right, so let's see what we got here. We got 73 in here. All right, 6:05. So I figure that's a good time to get started. So hey, yeah, steal their Wi-Fi. Well, I'm going to try whatever I can do to broadcast live, and I'll let you guys know. It won't be a surprise, so I'll let you know when we get to Hawaii. We'll figure out when we're going to Secret Beach, and so I'll let you know if it when you should expect a video from us if it's going to work out live. All right, yeah, Vicky wants to know if it's an alarm clock. All right, so here we go. Let's get right to it. And you won't see me, obviously, when I'm doing the presentation, but I'm still here talking. So tonight we are talking about the art of selling Christmas CDs. And hang on, someone is lost and can't find their way to the presentation. So let me grab the link real quick and send that to them. Sorry for the interruption. But I want to make sure everyone can... And yes, so when you see this, make sure you show up early, not 5 minutes after it's supposed to start, because we are going to get going. Okay, so here we go. The art of selling Christmas CDs. Fa la 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 la. And yes, there is the correct amount of la's in that. All right, it is all about riding the wave at the perfect time. Up until about 2 years ago, the Christmas CDs were so good for me that I could drive from here to LA, shop for a couple days, drive up to San Francisco, shop for a few more days, back to finish LA, back to home, sell them all, and make anywhere from like $3,000 to $5,000, enough to cover my trip. I got to spend every night at a different tiki bar, hanging out with friends, and put profit into my pocket too. Now, have sales waned? Absolutely. But is there still money there? Yes. I've already made $1,500, maybe closing on $2,000 from Christmas CDs this year. So this is not, CDs are a thing of the past, so to speak. But if you find the right ones, you will still make a bunch of money. So keep that in mind. So I've been fine-tuning this for years, and I'm pretty good at it. So I thought this would be a good thing to share with you. So it's all about riding the wave at the perfect time, because you can list, and I recommend you list Christmas stuff all year long, but Christmas CDs only have this one wave that if you want to make the most money, yes, you can sell a Christmas CD in July, but a third or a quarter of what it's going to sell for towards the end of the year. So there's no point in losing money. Just hang on to them. CDs don't take up a lot of space. They're easy to put away. So the perfect wave to sell Xmas CDs. Start prepping at the beginning of November. Get all the CDs that you have found throughout the year. Get them ready to go. Make sure you got clean jewel cases. Make sure you've done your research and you know where you want to list them, whether it be Amazon or eBay. We're going to talk about that coming up. Start listing them mid-November. Now, you're probably going to be shocked, but you're like, Jay, we got to get our Christmas stuff up. Nope. Mid-November is when the Christmas music starts. And by Thanksgiving, they should all be listed, because everyone at the end of Thanksgiving is watching Christmas movies. They're listening to Christmas music, and they got to go to eBay and Amazon to buy the out-of-print and hard-to-find stuff. CDs will sell through the end of the year. Christmas CDs, that is, obviously. And that is including Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, and into January. Yes, if you list enough Christmas CDs, you will be shocked when you sell one on Christmas Eve. You'll be doubly shocked when you sell one on Christmas. You'll be blown away when you sell something on New Year's Eve and into January. But by mid-January, ride's over. That wave is done. You have hit the beach. Time to pack them in and put them away, because I guarantee you there is no more sales after January. That's the one thing that ends. Now, Nadine found a ton of rare Hallmark ornaments, and those could sell all year, because when someone's looking for something out of print like that, they'll buy it all year. There is no one hunting for Christmas music in March. Just take it from me, from years and years and years and years of selling, no one is hunting for Christmas music in March. So don't waste your time keeping it listed or waste your space or your listings. All right, before you surf the big wave, you must first learn how to surf. And here, this is me teaching all you guys how to surf. So I see Amy on a surfboard. I see Nadine on a surfboard. I see Maggie on a surfboard. I see Pam on a surfboard. So this is where you start. You cannot just hit the waves of running. You've got to start on the beach, and you got to learn what to look for and how to sell it. You're going to need two apps. The first app is eBay. Yes, I did take the extra time to color the eBay letters exactly correct, because I'm a nerd like that. And the second one is the Amazon app. You need if you're an Amazon seller already, yes, you want the seller app. If you're not a seller, the buyer app will work just the same for you. It just won't give you the amount of information that the seller app gives you. It still works. You can still search things and see what they're selling for, what the going rate is, and it'll still help you make those decisions. All right, so we got to get into the CD store or the local thrift store. Now, we're going to talk about specific titles tonight. You really can't write that list down and go to the CD store. The thrift store, because whatever's in the thrift store is a crapshoot. But if you live near a major metropolis that has record stores still, and I live in Vegas, we have a bunch. LA's got a ton. San Francisco's got a ton. You can write down the things we're going to talk about tonight. Go to the Christmas section, and if it's a big enough store, they'll have even headers for those specific bands in the Christmas section. So it is easier to look for specific titles in the actual CD stores, not so much in the thrift store. Okay, this is the Amazon seller app. And just to make sure, this image right here, the white one is the buyer app. The black one is the seller app. So you want the seller app if you're a seller. Okay, so here's the seller app. Scan. It makes it pretty self-explanatory. You tap on scan, and as you can see on this CD, if you can see it, those little blue dots are not actually on the CD. That is my phone screen reading that CD. So the blue dots are about to scan that barcode on this CD. Now, a couple people who have been trying to do the scanning said, the barcode's kind of obscured, or it wouldn't actually read it. And I asked, did you type the number in? And a lot of people slapped their forehead and went, nope, never thought of that. So if you can see the barcode and all the numbers and it won't pick up for whatever reason, just type the barcode in and make sure you type in both control numbers. On this CD, for example, the first one's the 0 and the last one's the 4. Type all those numbers in. Ooh. Okay, now this is where we had people doing their homework, didn't understand what they were reading. So this is the most important part of the whole presentation tonight. If the item you have does not have a barcode, or you can't see the barcode, or if the store you're shopping at is tricky and placed their sticker over the barcode so you can't read it, the great thing about the magic blue dots is it will read the cover of the CD or the record or the toy. Anything with a UPC that sells on Amazon, you can pretty much scan the cover and it'll bring it up. However, in one instance where it gives you wrong information, and that is CDs. So that's why we're talking about tonight. That's why I'm going to teach you. More often than not, if you scanned a board game by the cover, it'll bring you the right exact board game. It will not give you a bunch of other extra bullshit stuff that like CDs do. All right, so I scanned the cover of this CD, and as you can see, these are all the things it brings up. So we got that first one there. It says 26 new and used from $7.49. The next one has 1 new and used from $80. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. The next one, 1 new and used from $122. Man, I'd really like that. Then we go up to $189, $261, $807. Boy, wouldn't you love to sell a CD for $807? All right, here's the deal. The first one is the only one that matters to you. The rest of these, I'm not actually sure how or why they end up in Amazon, but they're all bullshit. It's all just noise that you have to read through. This is the one you're looking for, and the things that are going to tell you you're in the right spot are as follows. First off, make sure you're actually looking at an audio CD. If you haven't realized by now, CDs and records are the exact same size. They're square. So from time to time, and you can scan records too, not every record, but a lot. From time to time, when you go scan the cover, it'll pick up the wrong thing. So make sure you're looking at an audio CD. All right, so cool. We got that. We're looking at CDs. The second thing you're going to look for is a price. So you saw 7 different things before. They all had these ridiculous prices except one. That's always the correct one. The one that has the most amount of items for sale and has the lowest price. The second thing is these little stars are the reviews. So you know you can review any product on Amazon. All those fake listings for the CD will never have reviews. This is the actual legit listing by Amazon. They have some reviews. So if you see reviews, that's the good one. And lastly, a sales rank. And I want to talk about sales rank here for a second. A sales rank, very simplistically, is how fast something sells on Amazon. So if you happen to scan something that has a rank of 1, ta-da, you have found a good item. It'll sell the fastest. As the numbers go, that means they're not as fast sellers. Now, a CD will radically change at Christmas because this CD in March will probably have a sales rank of a couple 100,000. But today and tomorrow and all the way through Christmas, it'll keep dropping. I guarantee you, if you look at this CD in about 2 weeks, that sales rank will maybe be half. Now, that's not an exact science, but I'm guessing so. But when you see a sales rank, again, that tells you this is the listing you want to see. And all those other ones, you're not getting $800 for the CD. Trust me, you're not. So these are the things you got to look for. When you see the rank, the reviews, and the lower price, you are in the right listing. Tap on that, and then we'll move into it. So just to show you again, as you can see, none of them, no other listings have a rank or reviews. So keep that in mind. Okay, so once we have our right, correct thing, oh, funny, after I took the first picture and I took another picture, the rank dropped. That means one sold. I didn't even notice that. So it went from 60,000 to 59. See how that works? And this is, by the way, if you find the CD and you like Mambo music, this is always on rotation every year in my car. It's a great CD. So you tap on the Mambo Santa Mambo, and then it brings you to this next screen. At the top, again, it shows you the sales rank number 59,225 in music. And then it shows you the lowest price new. And then you're going to tap on where I have that arrow where it says none for Amazon. It's the second line down. Just tap on that. And when you tap on that, these are all the CDs for sale for this specific title. So the first column is all new. So it ranges anywhere from 107 to 48. And then I tapped on use, and it goes from 45.87 down to 749. Now, the other key is when you look at the CD and grade the condition, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute, make sure you're comparing apples to apples. If you're holding a like new mint CD in your hand, do not think you're pricing it at $7.49. That is someone who's selling an acceptable CD. That means maybe some scratches, the cover's torn, the case is broken. If you have a like new one in your hand, the cheapest like new one is $34.95 on Amazon Prime. So you're probably not going to ship this in. You're probably going to do merchant fulfilled. So kick it down to about $25, and you have a $25 like new. Oh, geez. You have a $25 like new CD. Now, if you have the buyer app, and that's fine too, that's on the left there is the first screen of the buyer app. See where the little camera is up to the right? I guess I should throw an arrow in there. Tap that camera, and then you're going to scan the cover or the barcode just like we did before. It will not tell you the ranking. It will not break it down by what's FBA and what's not, but it will show you all the listed prices. So you can still make your educated decision based on what you see compared to the condition of yours, to the conditions of the ones being sold on Amazon. Okay, this is the question I get asked more often than not, because I've been telling people to buy and sell CDs forever. Just to give you a little history, I started selling CDs in March of 2000, and I quickly figured it out. And I was shipping worldwide back then when you had to stand in line at the post office. You couldn't print online. You had to fill out a customs form. There was a lot more work. But quickly I went from, well, maybe I'll give this a try, to selling 300 to 500 CDs every month for years and years and years. To the point of one day I'm standing at the post office with like 100 CDs, and the guy tells me, I can't do this every day. And I'm like, well, what are my options? I got to mail this stuff. He goes, well, I can just give you stamps. You can stamp your own. I'm like, I can just stamp my own? He's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. So it's easy to stamp my own. He said, all right, you need these 4 stamps, and that equals the amount of the CD, and then every ounce beyond that. So I've been selling CDs forever. I've probably sold 100,000 CDs. So I've been around CDs a long, long time. I know what I'm doing. The question I get asked more often than not is, do I have to listen to it? Do I have to watch the DVD I'm selling? Do I have to watch the VHS tape I'm selling? Do I have to listen to the cassette I'm selling? No, 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 and no. Everything has to be visually graded. Now on CDs, hold it in your hand, hold it at an angle, put it to a light source, and then you will see if there's any condition issues. Light scratches are not bad. It'll probably still play without any problems. And if you happen to find an out-of-print $100 CD with light scratches, get it. If you find a $2 CD with light scratches, leave it behind. Just visually grade it. And going on the Secret Beach, we'll talk about VHS, we'll talk about cassettes, reel-to-reel, all that stuff. And I'll show you how to visually grade each and every item. Oh, I just sold something for $30. Nice. So just hold it at an angle and look at it. I hope you can see all the scratches in this CD. These are the kind of things you want to avoid. If you take your hand and run your finger lightly over the bottom of the CD, if you can feel divots, that's probably not going to even get fixed. If you can see through the CD because of missing data, that'll never get fixed. If you see a crack, that'll never get fixed. But make sure you're looking at it. Just look at it. Now, if you want to listen to a CD, of course, listen to it. If something is questionable, say you got a $100 CD and you're not sure if it's going to skip, I do listen to those. I want to make sure, like I had to listen to a $100 CD the other day, and it sucked. I didn't want to listen to it, but I wanted my $100, and I wanted to make sure I knew my customer was going to get a working CD. All right. So if you have light scratches, you do not need to pass on those. Like I said, if it's a $2 CD, yes, pass. But if it's, $20 on up, pick it up. There are ways to get it fixed. You can have them repaired at these places. Now, here in Vegas, I got some record stores. They're called Zia, and Zia is also in Tucson and Phoenix. So if you're listening for any of those cities, they'll have a professional repair machine behind the counter, and they'll charge you $2 a disc. So if you pick up a CD for, say, like $3-4 and $2 to fix it and $6, and it's going to sell for $50, that's a good thing to do. And man, I'll tell you, if the scratches aren't deep, it looks almost brand new. It's amazing how well a professional buffer will work. Another place to check is game stores. Now, a lot of you might not have record stores near you, but there are still tons of game stores. And game stores are constantly having to fix games, especially if they rent. Kids are just notoriously nasty with their stuff, so they're going to have to fix it. And check your fellow sellers. Maybe someone here on the beach has a professional machine. I have a friend in Jersey who sells a lot of DVDs by the pallet full and has 5 big time o'clock. So if I live near him and I need some fixes, I would just wander over to his warehouse and say, hey, Fix these for me, please. Now, the reason you don't do this at home is because here's a decent price machine. And I say decent, it's not even high end, $2,000. The ones you could buy for $100, don't buy them. They will do more damage than you could even imagine. Do not try the things you see on YouTube, like smear banana on it, smear toothpaste on it. Stacy's face just went, what? Yes, I see all those tips. Do not do that. It will probably fill the groove and mask the skip, but it won't fix it, and it'll leave minty freshness on the bottom. And today, I think it was somebody asked if they should replace a broken jewel case. Absolutely. You definitely need to replace broken jewel cases. So get some. Now, people are going to say, hey, Jay, where do you get some good prices on jewel cases? And I'm going to say, I don't know, because I haven't bought any in about 7 years. Were we living in this house? Remember when I bought them off that truck? So about 7 years ago, I answered an ad on Craigslist, and a guy sold me 5,000 jewel cases for $100. 2 cents a piece. I'm still going through them, so I have not had to buy them in quite a while. But look for deals, and of course, anything. When we get to talking about record mailers, the more you can buy, the cheaper they get. So if the break is at 500, of course, you probably don't need 500. But if you've got 2 or 3 sellers near you, go in with them. My buddy Kevin lives here in Vegas. We always buy 1,000 LP mailers at a crack. I don't want to store 1,000 at a time. I don't sell speedy enough to use 1,000, but the big break's at 1,000. So he takes 500, I take 500. So yes, you want to change out the jewel cases almost always, unless it's minty fresh or it's sealed. Don't change it out. But everything else, you could probably use a fresh case, because the cases are cheap, and that fresh case makes your product look like it's been used for a while to almost brand new. So changing out a CD case, a live demonstration. All right, so Stacy's enjoying my presentation. All right, so again, you need to hold things at an angle. You can't tell how scratched this cover is, the jewel cover. So I'm going to slide this out. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. It's probably too shiny yet. Well, that's the whole point. You take it out. But if I am looking through this, I can see it is scratched to hell. And so you want to replace the case. See these little tabs here? There's 4 of them. These are your finger tabs. So what you do is you place your thumb right there, and you push down on the plastic part behind it, not on the tray, the plastic part behind it. So when you push down right that thumb thing, it pops right up. See that? Boom. And then you just pick it up. There you go. Easy peasy. So you flip out your back. You get a fresh, brand new, squeaky clean jewel case. Same thing. Put your finger there, pop it up. Boop. There you go. Put your back in. Make sure you lock all 4 corners down of the tray. Put your CD in. Slide your cover back in. And now you have a CD that went from looking like it's a little beat to looking like it's crispy fresh. All right. So that is how you switch out a jewel case. All right. So that's kind of the basics. We're scanning. We're making sure that we're going to list a good product. Now, let's talk about the actual Christmas CDs themselves. So I see some people said, did we lose them? I have to keep refreshing. I watch the feed the whole time, like I'm watching like you guys. And so far I've seen it run smoothly. So if you're having some issues, I'm sorry, but of course you will be able to watch the replay at your leisure anytime you want. All right. Can you guys guess what the #1 tip for sourcing CDs? And this ain't Christmas. This is just CDs in general. What to be aware of. The #1 tip, you'll be shocked by this. Make sure the correct CD is in the case. That's happened to me more often than I could, more times I can even count. But let me tell you a great customer service story, and one I'm going to share on the thrifting board, because so many people have bad customer service, like screw the customers. So Amoeba Records is the biggest record store in all of the country. It's in LA. And I bought some stuff from them online that I saw was out of print. They didn't realize it. It was Christmas CDs. And it was this Michael Bublé Let It Snow CD. So I bought 4 CDs. I listed the other 3. I go to list of Bublé, and I looked at the CD, and it was the wrong CD. So a week later, I was going to be at Amoeba. I walk up on her, returns counter. I go, hey, I bought this online from you guys, and it had the wrong CD in it. They did not ask to see my receipt. Of course, it had their price sticker on it. They did not ask to see my email. All they did was they took it, they saw it was the wrong CD, and they gave me a credit. That was it. Easy peasy. Can you imagine how awesome that customer service is? Because now I'm going to tell everybody how amazing Amoeba is. I mean, I always tell them anyway, but their customer service is top notch. And that's how you should be too when you're until your customer proves that they've done something bad to you, then always assume that they're doing nothing wrong and they just got a broken item or the wrong item or whatever. Okay, now that we realize we have the right CD in the case, let's talk about Christmas CDs. All right, the good rule of thumb is to ignore the common artists. Common artists are people like Harry Connick Jr., Mariah Carey, Josh Groban, Bette Midler, The Carpenters, and Elvis Presley. Oh, yeah, I forgot Amy Grant. These are the ones you see most common, so you're going to ignore those. However, there are nuances to CDs from common artists. So this Carpenter's Christmas Portrait, one of the most common Christmas CDs. You walk into Amoeba, they'll have 20 of them right now. So when you get the Carpenter CD, here's what it sells for. $6, $7.48, $5.99, $7.44. So unless you're picking it up for pennies, it's really not worth your time because there's so many of them. However, if you find one of two versions, then you can make more money. One of the early versions it was printed in Germany, and collectors want that specific version. So as you can see, this most recent one's in a very good condition, sold for $22.34. So all you got to do is open up the CD case, look at the CD, and it either says made in USA or made in Germany. And also, there was a Japan version. And again, collectors like the Japan versions. And this one just sold for $25. So this one's a little easier to tell is made in Japan because it has Japanese writing on it. Now, the big arrow is pointing to the little strip that wraps around the side of Japanese imports. It's called the OB, OBI. Collectors want to know if you have the OB with it, and you should have OB in your title on any CD you sell that has the OB with it. So make sure that you highlight that. And I said, hey, Elvis has tons of Christmas CDs, and most of them are worth pennies. However, Elvis is the man responsible for the holy grail of Christmas CDs. This is Merry Christmas. It was an early CD, 1984, one of the first. And for some reason, collectors go gaga over this CD. Now, you can see this title says Elvis Presley Merry Christmas CD, PCD 1-5301 USA. That is basically the barcode for this CD, and that's what collectors are looking for. So drum roll, please. This CD just sold for $250. Now, I have never found one, but I'm on the hunt. Now, this seller listed it right. He put the pertinent information in his title to get top dollar. This seller didn't. He has the worst title I've seen in a long, long time. Elvis Presley, Merry Christmas, 10 tracks. Where's the important information? This is the exact same CD, and his only sold for $75. Why? Because he had the shitty title. So make sure when you're selling anything, you do your due diligence and get your titles right. Now, there's another Holy Grail Christmas CDs. There's two really amazing Christmas CDs. Elvis is one. Sadly, I've never found it. And shockingly, Mariah is the other one. Now, not Mariah's full CDs. This promo only went out to radio and maybe CD stores. And for some reason, her fans go gaga over this. And it's just a single with two versions on it. So it's not even a full CD. And drum roll, please. This one sold for $255 for a 2-song single. So just because I told you to ignore the common artists, there's always nuances. So learn them. And so these are the two holy grails. Make sure you write down the important information so you're not coming home with the penny Elvis CDs and then getting mad at me, okay? All right. The other thing to look for is the weird and obscure, because that's what always sells. Because the weird and obscure never sold 10 million copies like Josh Groban did. So this has been out of print forever. This is Tales of the Crypt. Have yourself a scary little Christmas. As you can see, whenever this was new, because this person sold the new one, it was $9.99, and this one just sold for $99.95. $100. I always look for this one. I have not found any this year. I sold 3 last year. It has been out of print forever, so keep your eyes peeled for this. This is a good seller. If your pictures are blurry, and you're watching the feed, if you hover your mouse over to the thing, there's going to be a little gear. Click on that gear and switch to high def, and that'll make it look better. All right, California Raisins Christmas CD. Oh, also out of print, been out of print for a while. Usually sells in the $50 range. I have not found any this year, but I have sold many, many in the past. I just got alerted to this one by one of our members of the Secret Beach, Lee. He lives in Australia. I think he found the vinyl and the record, and the record sells for just as much. Pokemon Christmas just sold for $45. I've never seen this nor found it, but it's definitely in my brain now. And talk about obscure, a Motorhead Christmas CD. Stacy picked her head up. She was reading her phone. And as you can see, this one went for $63. And also, as you can see from the title, it's a Japanese import, and they did mention that it has the Obi. So make sure to do that. Now, this is one that's kind of easily found. Billy Idol sold this Christmas CD a few years ago just through his website. So not even a major distributor. It's not on a major label, but it sold for $50 just recently. And it's been out of print since that one season, and everybody wants it. I got to tell you, it's a great CD. So if you're a Billy Idol fan and you've not heard this, hunt this down, listen to it. It is awesome. All right, obscure Bo Duke Christmas CD, John Schneider, 1981, $50. That has been out of print. It will probably never come back into print. So, and you can find it. I found it a couple times. It can be found. I don't know Stan and Doug, but I just found the CD the other day for $4, and this is someone just sold theirs for $24. Stan and Doug used to go nuts at Christmas. I think it's a comedy thing, but I saw it in the rack. It was $4. I'm like, I'll give that a whirl. Come home and find out somebody just sold theirs for $24. So my gut instinct did me well. This is a CD of 12 tuba orchestra doing Christmas tunes. I picked one of these up the other day, and they sell new around $20. I'll probably get 12 or 15 used for it, and I picked it up for $2.99. Didn't know anything about the Hollywood Tuba 12 Orchestra, but again, obscure and weird. All right, so here's some of those obscure and weirds that of my actual sales. So the top one is the Osmonds, and not Donnie Marie, the rest of the Osmonds. I found this at my local CD store a week ago for $5.99, sold it within 4 days for $45. The second one is Christmas Comedy Classics. It's always been out of print. The used aren't worth as much as they used to, but I found 2 new ones. I got one for sale right now, and I just sold one for $39.99. And Roy Rogers and Dale Evans Christmas CD. It only came out about 10 years ago, but it's been out of print since then, and I got $33 for it. Now, out of print and obscure and weird. Eddie G fits that bill precisely. Now, Eddie G is a guy, and I don't know him. I know he hosts these awesome Christmas parties, or at least he did in Hollywood, and then he would make a CD soundtrack for the party. And the parties were so successful, a major label came to him and said, hey, let's make a compilation of your actual Christmas party. So this is the major label release Christmas party with Eddie G. As you can see, it sold for $8. It's not that exciting. So I would not even pick it up. However, if you ever stumble across any of the other ones that he self-produced, oh, and just to show you the back, it was put out by Columbia on Legacy, has a barcode. The fact that it has a barcode would tell you it's a legit one. Any other one, he self-produced himself. So here's one from 2006. As you can see, it sold for $43. I happened to luck out and get like 7 of them once from different years, and I sold them all between $50 and $100. And I don't run across them too often, but if you do, you know you want to pick it up. Just not the one with the barcode. These are all, all the ones I just showed you of mine are Amazon, not FBA, the merchant fulfilled. And here's the back of the Eddie G one. It says not for sale, and there is no barcode. The key is to find out of print CDs. But wait, just be aware, CDs come back into print all the time. Let's say for fun numbers, there's been 100 million CDs produced in the life of CDs, 100 million different titles. Companies are not producing 100 million titles all at once, so things go out of print. Sometimes they go out of print because of licensing and or fighting over who owns the rights, and sometimes you just can't produce everything. So some things come back into print. This is the Christmas in the Stars Star Wars Christmas CD. The CD and the record used to be worth a ton of money. And there's another bonus. This is John Bon Jovi's first professional CD, first professional singing job is on this CD. So you can sell to both Star Wars collectors and Bon Jovi fans. used to be able to get $100 for the CD, but as you can see, it only sold for $14.99 a week and a half ago. Why is that? Oh, because it's back in print in this new special edition red CD that looks like vinyl. So if you're a fan and want to pick this up, now you can pick it up brand new. But if you're trying to sell them, your market just went to shit. So sometimes if you get into selling CDs, you'll be hanging on to something when it comes back into print. You will lose out. I have a few of those this season already, but that's just part of the game. There's always going to be a little bit of loss. Here's a good example of out of print and worth more together than apart. These are called A Classic Christmas and A Classic Christmas 2 for Nick and Knight. They're the songs from like A Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, songs like I'm Mr. Heat Miser, stuff like that. They went out of print very quickly, and you could sell each one of them for about $40 or $50. And I don't know if they ever came back into print, but I think what happened is everyone who wanted them bought them, and so they didn't really need them anymore. But I found both, and I put them together as a lot for $50, and hey, they sold for $50. But if you go on eBay right now, you can pick them up each by themselves for $8 to $10, $12. So if you want to take the time, you could get the pair for way less, but somebody just wanted the pair immediately and paid me $50. This is the CDs I've always talked about, the Time Life Treasury of Christmas Volume 1 and 2. You're looking for the Volume 1 that has 45 tracks and the Volume 2 that has either 47 or 48 tracks. They re-released them years later, and they had less tracks. So some, again, licensing, some track had to be pulled. They're not worth as much as they used to be, but again, I paired them together, and I got $40 for the pair. And what I started to do after the one I just showed you, I kicked them on an angle. I made them stand out. This is not on an angle. Boring. This makes it stand out when people are shopping on their mobile. So, think about your pictures. All right, this is another Holy Grail. I found one this year, and I sold mine for $125. Been out of print forever. Dick Clark's Rock and Roll Christmas. Everyone wants this CD. If you go to eBay right now, but when we're done, go to eBay. Look at all the solds. They're all $100 to $140. So if you find the CD, you will get $100 easy peasy. And then Christmas Through the Years is a Reader Digest compilation. Usually Reader's Digest compilations aren't worth a lot, but this one is the one. In a decent used condition, you get 40. If you had this brand new, you can get 100 easily for it. But again, this is something I find quite often. You can too. This is the kind of CD that shows up in thrift stores all the time. So keep your eyes peeled, but don't get so excited if you find other Reader's Digest. Some are worth money, and here's how you find out if they are. Just scan them, but many are not. All right, New Wave Christmas, been out of print forever. It's got a bunch of cool Christmas tunes from the 80s by people like late 80s, early 90s, like Billy Squier, Pretenders, Smithereens. Been out of print for a long, long time. You can always get $30 for it. And I just sold one last night, and it's going to Spain, I think. And here's another out of print one. Been out of print forever. Have a Nice Christmas. Holiday hits of the 70s. Been out of print forever, and you can always get around $30 for it, if not more. If you ever find it new and sealed, obviously you can bump it up to about $50. And I had this in my presentation, and somebody in the group sold it. And this might be their listing. I don't know. Somebody found this for a couple bucks and already sold it. So yeah, the Clancy Brothers Christmas again is always a $30 or so Christmas CD. Living the Blues is a whole collection. There's probably about 50 of them, all these different eras and stuff. Some of them aren't worth anything. Some of them are worth quite a bit. If you find the Living the Blues Christmas CD, you get it for $40. So if you have a record store near you, go to the blues section, look for this. You'll see tons of these. There's, like I said, there's like 50 different ones, but keep your eye peeled for the Christmas one for sure. That is always a winner. I don't know if you know who Leon Russell was, but this CD is a very religious Christmas CD. It is not a fast seller, but when I find it, it does sell for good money. And unfortunately, Leon just passed away a couple of weeks ago, so that made this CD worth even more real quickly because it's not in print anymore. And as you can see, someone sold this for $46. So if you find this CD, get it up right away. People are still mourning Leon's passing, though his fans, obviously. And I forget who sold this, but someone doing their homework in the Secret Beach found this. I don't know who it is. I've never seen this CD, but they picked it up for $1 or $2 and sold for $37. So, so good job. So now that's in my brain. I'm looking for a Nuna. I don't even know who Nuna is, but if a Nuna is getting me $40, I'm going to start looking for a Nuna. Hey, Stace, remember this cover for when we go to San Francisco. Another thing to keep an eye out for, and this goes beyond even Christmas, Disney parks, and they have parks all over the world. they release music for the parks, and they'll have specific Christmas music, parade music, and then they discontinue it. So Disney park music is always worth some good money. Here's a Christmas CD one from Paris, sold for $49. Here's Christmas Around the World from the park, sold for $70. So if you ever see any Disney park CDs, make sure you scan them. And here's another example. Disneyland Haunted Mansion Holiday, Nightmare Before Christmas. This was from a couple years ago. They don't sell it anymore, and someone sold it for $37. And then the last Holy Grail we're going to talk about, and this is a Holy Grail single, is one of my all-time favorite Christmas songs when David Bowie and Bing Crosby did Peace on Earth, Little Drummer Boy. Obviously, David Bowie passed away this year. This is the single of the song with special multimedia. Has the whole video on it. That was a big deal back when this came out in 95. I just found this new sealed for like $8. $5. And so I got mine up for 40 or 50 right now. So keep your eyes peeled for this one. It is always a seller because that's always a big tune every year. All right, make sure to look at both platforms before listing the CD. This is Peggy Lee. She has an out-of-print CD called Christmas Carousel. I've sold the CD for years and years and years and years. As you can see on eBay, it's pretty much a $17 CD. We got 19, we got 17, we got 17. Hey, look what I had two, and I sold both mine on Amazon for 25 and 29. Know your platforms. Make sure to check. I'm going to always sell where I can get more money for it. To check online, plug in the barcode up at the top on your Amazon screen. So now we're sitting at our computer. We're home. We've done our shopping. So type in the barcode at the top of your screen, and then you will see audio CD. So that where you want to click down there because you want to see the used prices, the new prices. Don't worry so much about the collectible. I've never used collectible. To me, only thing that would be collectible is if maybe you had Enya sign it. That's the only thing that'd be collectible to me. And then I would probably put it on eBay. Now, if you don't know what Keepa is, or Camel, it is a Chrome extension you can download to your computer. And when you go to a listing, so we're on this Enya and Winter Came, it'll give you the graph of how it's selling. As you can see, the orange is Amazon, the blue is other sellers new, and then the black is used. And every time there's a dip or a rise, that means there's a sale. And then you can hover your mouse over that spot. So the mouse where I have it hovered for the screenshot, it was selling on Amazon that day. Someone sold it for $16.29 on Amazon. Other sellers were selling new for $4.26, and used was selling for $3.22. It'll also tell you how many are on there: 65 used, 67 new. So this is showing you don't want to buy the CD. There's too many. It's not selling for anything. But what's cool is when you download this to your computer, it just automatically happens. You go to any listing on anything on Amazon, and it shows you the sales rate, what it's selling for. So it kind of helps you. Like sometimes I'll buy stuff in a lot, like a big, 50 CDs. If I see that the going rate is about $3, I'm not wasting my time. It's just not worth my time. I'll just trade it in later on. Those are easy to find. Just go to Keepa or Camel, and it's free. It's free Chrome extension. You have to be using Chrome. That's why it's a Chrome extension. But it'll automatically download into your Amazon. And then this shows you how your Amazon looks. I'm sure we've all been on Amazon, seen it. So here's the prices. $3.27 new is the cheapest new one. $3.28, $3.39. Not worth your time. But the graph and the actual data helps you decide if you should list it. Now, if you do have one to sell and you've never sold on Amazon, now here's the problem. Right as I decided to do this speech, Amazon gated CDs. And what that means is if you've never sold a CD, you can't right now, and they're not letting any new CD sellers in. So if you've never sold a CD on Amazon, you're just going to have to sell them on eBay. That's really the only way to do it right now. I'm sorry. I got no control over that. I'm not sure why they did it. But those of us who sold CDs before all got grandfathered in. But if you have sold and you forget, just click on have one to sell right at the top there. You got to put in your condition, put in your condition notes. So if I was selling that CD, actually I did have one. That's why I was doing this as an example. There was a small cut in the spine. So I want to make sure that the customer knows that. Put in the quantity I have and the price. Oh, I guess I forgot to put arrows. Put in your condition note, your quantity, your price. And then here's your shipping. Now on CDs are easy. They're 4 ounces. They're really easy to ship. So I pick every option because Amazon always charges a little bit more than it actually costs. So everything's always a winner for me anyway. So I'll ship however my customers want it. And don't forget to, then you click calculate fees, and then don't forget to click submit your listing. Because if you don't submit your listing, then you don't have anything for sale. And then if you know you've submitted it, once you get the congratulations, your item is now for sale. Now on eBay, they've gotten pretty good at putting the database in. So again, if you type in the barcode and click get started, it'll bring up, oh, hey, Jay, do you want to sell And Winter Came by Enya? Well, yes, I absolutely do. So I'm going to select that one. Now, sometimes you have options to select. Some barcodes get reused. Doesn't happen often. But again, try and make sure you're selecting the right item. The title. This is the title they give you. I hate their titles. I don't want parentheses in here. I like to lead with the artist, not with the album title. So make sure when you're doing media and you fix the title they give you. So here's what they gave me, and here's what I change it to. Enya and Winter Came CD. Mine was new sealed. And then one of the songs on the CD is called Spirit of Christmas. Now, this way I've been able to work in Christmas in the title. Spirit of Christmas Past. And Journey of the Angel was another song. So I'm just putting in more keywords. I'm filling it up with keywords from the songs on the CD. Make sure you use your store categories. I have both Christmas CDs. So if someone's buying one Christmas CD for me and they're in my eBay store, they might want to look at the other Christmas CDs I have and make sure you obviously pick the condition. They will give you the first picture. I'm usually good with that, even if you have a used one, if you got a like new condition, because it'll be quicker. But if you want to take pictures back like you do with anything else, sure, go ahead, do it. Duration, make sure you're picking if it's an album or a single. And then if you have any of these things apply, if it's a 24 karat gold disc, if it's enhanced, if it's an import, make sure you're picking off all the special attributes because that'll help sell your CD, especially if you got something cool. And then make sure to pick the country or region of manufacturer. Most of the CDs will be US, but if you find Japan or UK or whatever else, you want to make sure you know because collectors are looking for imports. And then here's the prices I do for shipping on my CDs. So if you want to copy those down, either do $2.99 or $3.99 for first class. Priority mail flat rate $6.99. Priority mail express flat rate $23.99. First class to Canada $12.99, and first class the rest of the world $19.99. Sometimes I do free shipping depending on how much competition is on a CD. If I'm the only one, I might throw in the shipping. If not, I'll do free shipping. And then it's really easy to ship a CD. All it takes is what's called a number 0 bubble mailer. Bubble mailers come in different sizes. They're numbered. There's 000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on up. Number 0 is the perfect size for CDs and DVDs too, for that matter. So you just slide your CD with the jewel case right in. Oh, in the wrong computer. Now, the one time you wouldn't just slide it in is if you have a CD in a cardboard housing. So go back to me here. This is a CD. It's just in thin cardboard. It is not in a jewel case. So this could get beat up. So take a piece of cardboard. Ta-da, cardboard. And just enough to fold it over. Just like that. Now, look, it ain't pretty, but anyone buying the CD don't care about it's not a fancy sweater. It doesn't need Nadine's girly touch and throwing tissue paper around it. It's just a CD. So cardboard, slide it in. This way it is stiff, and this will not get damaged. And that's it. Ta-da! How'd I do? 50 minutes. Not too bad. So that is our presentation. I hope everyone learned about Christmas CDs, about CDs in general. I'm going to show you, just so you know, I try to show in pictures, but here's your apps. We're going to tap on the Amazon one, the seller. So there it is. You tap your scan, and then there's the magic blue dots. So here, I'll hold this up. And boom, it read the barcode, and there's the CD. Okay, I know it's not the easiest to see, but that's how easy it is. Boom. And then the buyer app works the exact same way. So we go to the buyer app, and we tap the camera up there. And it goes right to the blue dots. Boom, there it goes. Now, somebody was saying theirs was moving slow. I'm guessing it was your reception. As you can see how fast it goes, and then you just read through and see what that CD is selling for. So, for instance, the CD, there's only 12 being sold right now, and I have the cheapest like new one. Hey, $11. So there you go. All right. So I see the first question. Do I use the USB bubble envelope or just a 00? No, 00 is too small. Number 0. This is a number 0. You can get these at a lot of places. You can get them at Bubble Fast, which is a sponsor of the JNA show. If you put in JAYANDNAY, you'll get 10% off your order. So that is just a number 0 bubble mailer, and CDs fit exactly in a number 0. And that's all you do. You don't got to put anything else. Now, can a CD get cracked? A case get cracked? Absolutely. I had one this week I had to send out a fresh case to. You know when the last time that happened to me? 5 years ago. So don't be thinking you need to do this with everything. Just do this with your cardboard stuff. So I'm gonna watch the questions now, and I see Dean says, if I'm not yet an Amazon seller, do you think it's worth me putting something up for sale on Amazon so I have access to the additional features on the Amazon Buyer app? Well, you'll have access to the additional features on the Amazon Seller app. And yes, get registered. You know, I don't even think you need to sell, just get registered as a seller. So go get registered, and then that way you can be able to use the Seller app because it gives you more data. Can you lot together a few of the cheaper CDs to sell? Absolutely. I do that with everything I sell. When I buy big collections, if I've got things left over that aren't good together, like you saw me tonight, I lotted 2 together, the Time Life Treasury and the Classic Cartoon Christmas. I lotted them together. They made it worth more than by themselves. Does the same rule apply for regular CDs, meaning the obscure and the unusual? We're going to do a whole CD thing in the near future. Has nothing to do with Christmas. Yes and no. One of the downfalls people make is they buy obscure local stuff and they think it's going to be amazing, and it never usually is. What is my cutoff profit price amount to make it worth my time to buy a CD? You know, when I shop in the stores, I usually don't go above $8 unless it's out of print. Like that Dick Clark that I sold for $125, I paid $40 for it, but I knew I was going to sell for over $100, so I had no problem paying $40 to sell for $125. But then thrift stores are usually going to be $2 each, $1, $2, $3 each. So those, just buy whatever. But if you're in a store, usually because the stores are aware that Christmas is only a short window, like we're aware, and so they don't usually price it to sit. They price it to move. So a lot of times I find most of the good stuff underpriced. All right. Does the Christmas of the Year CD have a booklet in it? No, it does not. Jay, what about the hole punch in the barcode? The hole punch in the barcode is just a promo punch. When back in the day, because it doesn't happen so much anymore, but it does a little bit. When CDs were sent to record stores or radio, the reason they put they cut the saw cut in the side or the hole punch in the barcode. When you own a record store and you order CDs, if they don't sell, you can send them back and get a credit. What the record companies didn't want is you sending back the ones they sent you for free. So they had to indicate they were promos by making them a mark in them. No one cares that they're promos. Just indicate it either on Amazon or eBay. Put hole punch in the barcode. Put cut in the side. Hole drilled in the corner. I've done that for years on Amazon too and never had a problem. You can't lot CDs on Amazon. You have to lot them on eBay. I mean, you could make a listing, but I wouldn't. If you're going to lot CDs, do that on eBay. Do I take a picture of the front and the back of the CD? No, if I'm going to take pictures, this is number 1, that's number 2, and then I'll usually take this as number 3, the CD itself. Taking the back is almost impossible to get a good shot of the condition, so don't even bother. Plus, you're going to see yourself, and if you're naked taking pictures, you don't want that, so don't even bother. So usually, though, I just do front and back. Sometimes I'll do the actual top of the CD. Can you add tracking to the CD shipment? Yeah, just first class. Oh, yeah. Shipping is first class. CDs weigh 4 ounces. That's cheaper than medium mail. So if you get doubles and triples, of course, it's going to be a little different. But every CD like this weighs 4 ounces. That is the joy of selling CDs and buying and selling CDs. For the most part, 95% of the product is all the same size, all the same weight, all the same shape, ships all the same way. So you don't have to learn new things. Like if you're selling tiki mugs, I have big ones, I have small ones, I have fat ones, I have long ones. You know, they're all different shapes. These are all the same. All right, Stacy says some CDs I scanned it just showed the listing for $15, but underneath it said 35 new and used, offers from 30 cents. So that means it was just worth 30 cents. Yes. The $15 is the Amazon new price. Ignore that. But go in there and read them. Yes, there is one for 30 cents, but what if that one is in acceptable condition and you have a like new and the cheapest like new is $12? Then get it. List it for $12. Are there any websites that will give you a good top sellers list that we can use as a general CD guide? Yeah, it's called eBay. Type in like Christmas CD, sort by sold, and then sort by highest, and you'll see what's hot. You can do that with any artist, any genre, because you can then break it down on the categories to the left. Soundtracks another good one to look at what's hot, and we'll probably talk about soundtracks in the future because that's another good one to really get into. How do you offer multiple shipping options on a listing? Ken, are you talking about eBay or Amazon? Yeah, so if you guys are asking questions, something like that, make sure you specify which platform. Yeah, Mary said if you angle the CD just right, you can get a good shot of the back. Yeah, but Mary, you don't need it. I never have taken that picture, and no one has ever asked in 100,000 CDs. No one has ever asked for a picture of the back. So my goal every day in my listing is to cut out as many seconds and steps as I can. So if I sell 50 CDs this week, if I can cut out 50 pictures, I've saved myself some time. All right. Let's see here. Oh, so Ken said on eBay, how do you offer multiple shipping options on a listing? When you go to the selling screen there, Ken, and you go to shipping, you pick your first one. It says, first class, $2.99. And then right below it, it's a little plus. It says add shipping option. Click on that. Then priority, $6.99. And then click on add shipping option. Priority express mail, $23.99. Easy peasy. Okay, so Maggie wants to know for Amazon, what is considered a good rank? Is there a ceiling to the rank that you won't go over? I ignore rank for the most part because rank on toys is important. What's hot? If you're looking at out of print CDs, the rank can be shitty only because it never shows up. So the rank will be so my best example ever is the movie Blade Runner had a very rare version of the soundtrack came out. They only produced 1,000 copies of it. I bought it for $50 and the rank was 4 million. Now you would never buy any product that's 4 million, but you know why it was 4 million? Because no one ever found it and sold it. I bought it for $50. I sold it within 4 weeks for $250, and the rank went from 4 million to like 100,000. So kind of ignore rank if you're finding the obscure because they don't come up too often. Plus, Christmas is really skewed. If you scan Christmas CDs in March and you're like, oh, that Mamba Santa Mambo is only ranked 1 million, but by December 24th, it'll be ranked like 1,000. So you got to remember that there's going to be this huge wave in November. And yeah, Gwen said, summertime, great time to look for Christmas CDs. No one's paying attention to them. Everyone will sell them at garage sales and everything and cheap. I collect them all year and I put them in a box. And then at the end of in November, I start cleaning them up. I start separating them. Oh, I got 3 of this. Okay, I'll put 2 on Amazon, 1 on eBay, because you also want to play the field. If you got multiples, a couple here, a couple there, and I'm ballsy. When I got my expensive ones, they're listed on both platforms at the same time. As soon as one sells, I got to go in there and grab it and pull it off of the other one. So if you can't be on top of it as good as I am, don't try that. But if you got a $100 CD, I always try both platforms because I want to make sure there's as many eyes as possible on my stuff. I never had pictures on Amazon listings. I've only done it maybe 10 times. Either they had no pictures at all or horrible sideways pictures. But for the most part, most of the CDs I sell will have the correct picture, so I don't need to worry about that too often. So if you can't find the CD on Amazon or eBay, Google it. There's 2 websites. One's called Pop Psych, Popsike. That'll show you stuff. Shoot, I'm trying to blank on the other one. Somebody will remember it. There's another one that'll show you sold stuff and rare stuff. What? Oh, thought you were gonna tell me the answer. I was gonna be blown away. I'm like, if you pick your head up. But Pop Psych, and Google. If you Google stuff, you'll be shocked at what you find. Like my assistant found, no, Gem disappeared a lot of people's money. So if you ever use the website Gem, they're gone. You can't go there no more. My assistant found a listing from January on eBay today because she was Googling a shirt I was selling that was very rare. And she goes, oh, I found a listing. And I had looked and I'm like, I didn't find any. Well, she had Googled it and the listing still showed up through Google. So she could see everything from January, which is not normal. So make sure you use Google. Discogs. Thank you, Mark. That was the other one. I drew a blank there. Ken Fout says, on eBay, do you recommend looking at completed listings or sold for comparison? Always, always sold. Now, if there are no solds, I'll go look at completeds. If someone's trying to sell something for like 4 or 5 times, it hasn't sold, I might not list it. But solds are, but also, and I had to teach my assistant this today, she priced something really lower than I expected. And I said, why'd you price it? She goes, well, look at this. It only sold for $19 or $18. I go, look how crappy their title is and their pictures. We're doing it better. So yeah, that's a start of the gauge, but we've done it so much better. We have a much better title, much better pictures. Do they offer returns? I don't know. I do. So make sure you're always comparing apples to apples. What is the advantage to selling them merchant fulfilled or sending them to Amazon Prime? See all these CDs over my shoulder? I like them here. I like them here because I can take them from Amazon and quickly pop them on eBay, back and forth. Then if they're not selling, they're just sitting here and I can grab them and take them to LA and trade them in. CDs are easy to store. They're not really, real big, and you can alphabetize them, makes it easy. And a lot of people send them into to Amazon, fulfillment by Amazon, and they sell them that way too. I do quite well merchant fulfilled. I sent a few things in, but I like my CDs here. I like to be able to move them around at will. All right. I think I caught most of the questions. If you ask something back up a little bit and I missed it, please retype it and I'll answer right now. Nadine says, can you talk about grading CDs in the case? I tend to undergrade, I think. I know you said replace the case. Do you buy the cases in bulk? Yep, buy them in bulk. You never should have to grade the case because you should put a fresh one on. And then the best thing to do is under promise and over deliver. So I always grade my CDs. If there are no marks and it's when you go to take a CD out, you should be pushing down on this middle thing. When you go to pop it up, like this one popped up easy, that means this has been popped out of the case many, many times. If it is crispy fresh, that first time, it'll be tough. So you can pretty much go mint on that. If it's got maybe a light smudge or two, go very good. And then make sure if you got some scratches, you go good or acceptable. I tend to stay in the like new mint range, but if I find something rare, I'll buy it. I'll get it buffed, and then I'll make sure to give the correct description of the condition. Is there a way to spot counterfeits? I have never seen a Christmas counterfeit. So today, and we're going to do normal CDs, like I said, coming up in the near future. And yeah, there is a way, but I've never, ever seen a Christmas counterfeit. Doesn't mean they don't exist. I just never seen one. But, and this is not 100%, but CDs are blue, silver on the back. You see blue or green, that is something that has been burned on a computer. Now, that Mariah Carey I showed you was from the record company, but it was a blue back. So that means they just burn them quick. And it's collectible, so it can't be a specific rule like that. But if you buy and sell enough, you'll start to learn what's legit and what's not. Currently, I have about 600 CDs up between Christmas and regular. Let's see here. Yeah, these are all listed. These are all on Amazon by alphabet, and these are just the normal ones. The Christmas ones you can't see. Well, the Christmas ones are the case above it. So that's Christmas up there. And down below is all the normal CDs. So alphabetical order makes life easy too. Don't forget that. Cool. All right. Well, we had a third of you tune in live. So that's pretty cool. I know people had, I saw a wife birthday, work, kid stuff. I get it. So, this will be forever in here for you guys to watch at your leisure. And feel free to, especially those of you who watch after the fact, feel free to throw a question in. If we did not answer your question tonight, feel free to throw a question in on in the group on the post that has the link to the webinar, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. I think this helped. I hope that the little hiccups that I saw people having, you're going to be able to look past those now and move on to finding the correct stuff. Stop buying the penny CDs. And that's what I saw a lot of. Like penny books, there are a lot of penny CDs. And I want you guys to find the good stuff. So, for instance, I bought this on a whim. It was $1. So there is no gambling $1. Look, my mom, who's in the chat, she used to do this to me until I set her straight. We moved to LA, and obviously a 3-hour difference from Cleveland. She'd be at a garage sale at 8 a.m. Cleveland time, 5 a.m. LA time, and would call us. And she'd be like, should I buy this? Now, this is before smartphones, so I couldn't see it. And I'd be like, what? And she'd explain to me, and I go, how much is it? And she's like, 50 cents. And I go, Mom, I'm going to send you $50 until you run out of that. Do not wake me up for a 50-cent item. So there is no gamble in a dollar. Do not pause to ask me. Do not pause even to scan it. If it looks cool for $1, grab it. So for instance, this one's kind of cool. It is by Sarah Taylor and Bill Mummy or Mummy. Does anyone know either of those people? One of these people is very famous. And I didn't remember his name. So for $1, I got it. And then I figured out who the one person was. I'm like, hey, that's kind of cool. So does anyone know either of these people by name? And while I'm waiting to see him, Ken tagged me in on a post, and I thought I actually had in my presentation tonight. Yes, very good, Maggie. Bill Mummy is the little boy in Lost in Space. So he sang on a Christmas single here. It's got 2 songs on it, actually. So I think I had this up for like $30. It's a rare single. And I definitely was glad I spent $1 on it. And here's the thing. If it doesn't sell this season, I just pack them away and it'll sell next season. I sold good stuff this season that I found towards the end of last season that didn't sell in time. And I was happy to get the good money at this season. So there's always going to be a little left over every season. Don't worry about that. But yes, when you find the weird and obscure, the kid from Lost in Space sang a Christmas tune, that's what you want to buy. Shit, what was I talking about? Oh, the Tommy Bahama. Yeah, so Ken found a Tommy Bahama CD. Tommy Bahama, the store, puts out holiday CDs. There's nothing ever rare or obscure on them. But for whatever reason, as soon as they go out of print, people want them. They're not fast movers, but you can usually find them. And I find a ton every year. And they're new for $20 at the store, but after they're out of print, you can usually get anywhere from $30 to $60 for them. So Ken found one. And Ken, you should probably get $60 at the minimum for that CD. But let me tell you, if it doesn't sell this year, don't underprice it. Don't start cutting it down. Just save it till next year. Get it up a little earlier. We're already in December. Next year, you get it up 2 weeks earlier, you might sell it. But you'll probably sell it this year, but don't give up if it doesn't sell quick enough. All right, cool. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot tonight. I hope you go out and are successful and prosperous in finding Christmas CDs. Like I said, I am leaving for Hawaii next week. I will be, of course, checking in on you guys. But if I check in on you too much, this one over here will get very mad. So, and by saying this one, I mean that one right there. But I will be in the Bay Area after Hawaii Christmas CD shopping. So if you're around the Bay Area and want to hang out, we're going to be bar hopping for the 3rd weekend in December. I'd love to hang out with any of you. Yeah, Stacey said if anyone wants to do anything other than shopping, she's available. But let me tell you, if you're in the Secret Beach and you live in the Bay Area and I get to town in 2 weeks and I find good stuff, you're not doing your job. I expect to find no good Christmas CDs in the Bay Area, but I guarantee you I will. All right, so real quick, we're going to start doing the extended shows from 13 Business with Jay and Nay and selling past your expiration date. If you're in the Secret Beach and you're watching this and you've not watched my other YouTube shows, you should. There's a lot of good information. And this week on Sunday, we're going to be doing my mom and I show, which is selling past your expiration date, being thrifty over 50. So tune in for the regular show. And then in the Secret Beach, I'll have a link. And after the regular show is over, Mom and I are going to continue for another about half hour. And this week we're talking about adding videos to your listing. And then after the general populace can watch, we're going to come into the Secret Beach and I'm going to show you a little bonus tips on how to make an even cooler video if you need to do a little production. Usually you push the button, the thing dances, you take a video, that's all you need. Sometimes you need to make a little more of a production. I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'm going to show you on an iPhone. You Android users, I'm sorry, I do not have an Android. I cannot help you, but I can show you on an iPhone. I'm sure there's an equivalent on Android, but make sure to tune in on Sunday, noon West Coast, 3 p.m. East Coast, and then we'll continue on after the regular show. Different link, so watch. I'll have both, so make sure you watch the different link in the Secret Beach. They want to know when you're doing a live shopping show. When hell freezes over. Oh, she meant Nadine. I didn't keep reading. She said Stacy. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna go grab some dinner, and we're going to a concert. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you on the Secret Beach. Aloha.